Hi and welcome back to the channel. Now today I want to show you three of my best or my favorite drills that I tend to use with a lot of golfers in the world to try and help them improve their golf. These three different things are going to help you to move better and have a better understanding of the golf swing. So come on, let's go do it. So let's jump straight into it, shall we? So the first drill that I've used, and this is probably one of my first things that I really worked on by watching Mike Malaska on YouTube. And now obviously I'm a certified instructor based here in the UK, and I need to pinch myself on that sometimes because I forget that I'm one of 9 and I was handpicked as well. You can't just become a certified coach. But anyway, I digress. So the first drill that I tend to do is one of the biggest issues that we see a lot of golfers have is when they swing a golf club, they have this tendency to move up and into the ball. And a lot of it comes with the right hip moving up into the ball. The left hip tends to stall with some golfers and they move the right hip forward and they stumble this way. So this is one of the key factors to get right here, is to keep this right hip back. Now the way to do this is we call this right foot back. So we get golfers splitting the stance like so, but they get their right foot so that it's in line with their left heel. And what we have them do is you've got to make a golf swing keeping that right foot flat on the ground. I like to keep that heel flat on the ground, and because I've already put this right leg back, my hip is almost open to the target. So you'll see in the front ways, but from here it's already open to the target as well from where it was at address. So at address, and as soon as I drop this back, my hip is slightly open already. Now as soon as I drop that back, I've now created a wonderful space here without my right hip being in the way, in order to be able to swing the club down on the right path, on a shallower path to the ball, than if my right hip is in the way and it's coming forward, I'm stuck. I've got no room to go and I have to try to manufacture a swing to try and hit it. So right foot back really works a lot. Now the trick for this one is when you're swinging it, you've got to try and swing it and hit and don't lift that right foot off the ground. This is going to keep the right foot back. Yes, the hip will move, but it won't go as close to the ball. The whole idea is we don't want it anywhere nearer to the ball than when it started. So keeping that right foot back is really a good drill to do. And I do this one a lot. It's an OG one. I've done it from day one really, and I was always surprised at how good it felt for me, because obviously I was always one of those kids that used to come up onto the toe very, very early. So as I was swinging down, I used to be right up on that toe very, very early. So obviously I was moving my hip up into the ball when I was younger. So a very long time ago now. But anyway, so right foot back, I'm going to hit some balls. I'll only be able to probably on the follow through hit to about here somewhere. I might be able to get round there. I'm not as flexible as I used to be, but right foot back, I'm going to get the sensation of all this space and room in this area here. It's a great drill to do. I recommend anybody to do this one. And just hit some balls. I've got it on a T-peg. I've got a 6-iron here. Not that that's relevant. You can do it with any club, even driver. So just going to swing back and swing through. Okay, I've kept this right foot down. My right knee actually on my right leg works downwards and inwards, which is what you really want to get a feeling of, is everything working down and inwards, not kicking forward. All right, so right foot back is a wonderful drill. It's one of my favorite drills to do, and I can do this all day long. And I can do it with most clubs. I like doing it with a driver actually. I can't do driver today because I think my neighbours will be a bit nervous of me doing it, but I will do some more driving stuff once I get to that club to start being able to practice for you. So right foot back and hit into the ball. So right foot back and just swing through. Okay, I'm not moving up into the ball. My hips are no closer to the ball. If anything, they're further away than when I started. So right foot back is a great drill, on the first drill, to go and practice on immediately, and you'll see immediate results, especially in distance. Thanks for watching so far, and please remember to subscribe. There's some of you out there that aren't subscribing to my channel. Please, it really helps to support me and to grow the instruction that I'm trying to get out there for you. But also as well, just to remind you, there's some great offer at the moment going on at Mike Malaska's website, so malaskagolf.com. He's doing 3 different packages there for members, already members of sites, to pass on deals to their friends and families, and you're getting a great deal on there at the moment. So go and check out malaskagolf.com and go and start learning your journey for better golf today. So drill number 2 is a great drill as well. So it helps golfers with shoulder tilt issues. So if they're turning too flat. So what I mean by that is, as they swing back, they turn the shoulders too level, and they don't get enough angles in their shoulders. Okay, so ideally, what we want to try and do is to move our shoulders at 90 degrees around my spine, or to my spine angle. So my shoulder's got to turn at a 90-degree angle. So there's a slight pitch downwards. My left shoulder will be lower than my right. Now, as I push my right hip back, what we see a lot of golfers that struggle, again, can be down to a bit of flexibility, but sometimes it's down to misunderstanding as well. Okay, and what we tend to see them do, so they'll tend to come this way and get a bit too level, too flat. So a great drill to do is called the clap hands drill, and it's a very simple one. So all you're going to do is basically just clap your hand. You're going to get into golf posture, as I call it. Clap your hands down in front of you like so, and all you're going to do is just swing your trail arm back, your right arm back as you swing back, and you're just going to feel and keep the lead hand, the left hand, for my case, pointing forwards down at the ground. You're going to keep it there, and all I'm going to do is just swing back this way, and I can feel how my shoulders work. I can feel my chest expanding. I can feel my shoulder blades pinching more together. It's actually more of a stretching exercise, really, more than anything. But what this does is this helps me to keep my shoulders pitched at the right angle. It also helps me when I'm coming down to the ball, because it's going to train my right hand to come back to my left hand correctly. There is no way I'm going to go like that and swing over the top of it, okay, which we see a lot of golfers do. I'm going to bring my right hand back down to meet my left hand. So this really trains you a lot of good things. It trains you as well to keep the right hip back, because again, there's no way from here that you're going to go forward and swing over your hand either. It's going to really give you the right feeling of how the shoulders stay in the right plane, and then you're going to swing back to hit your hand. Your right hand also as well, funny enough, will always come back squarely. So if I do it from this angle, I'm going to swing back and here, okay, and I'm going to come back down to hit the ball. Funny enough as well, my right hand, because we work on a throw release, my right hand will always, if I think of it that way as a clapping, will always come back to the left hand squarely. There is no way in the world that you're going to come back down and go, ooh, open the face, okay, or chop into this way. Your right hand's going to come back to squarely meet the left hand. Once you've done that, you can then follow up and around this way as well, and feel the stretching and the shoulder blades pinching again at the back. But again, this keeps you in the right angle. Back, hit, and around. Okay, this really works nicely to train how the shoulder angles feel. Okay, once you've done that and you've got that feel a few times, you can then go up and try and hit a golf ball replicating that feeling. So I feel like my left shoulder really stays down and right shoulder goes up, and I can feel those shoulder blades really stretching nicely. So as I stand here, I'm going to swing back and through. Okay, so I can really feel that motion of staying more down. I feel like my left shoulder goes down, right shoulder up. So it's a really great drill to do. That's called the clap hands drill. It's a really good drill to be doing. So last drill, this is one that I do every single time before I hit golf balls, okay, because it really trains a lot of good things for the golf swing. And it's literally one-armed, okay, pitch shots just with my right hand. For me, right-handed, just pitch shots just with my right hand, just little chip shots. But also what I add into this as well is what we call pivot, okay. So I actually add in right hand swinging freely. So I start off by hitting some shots, just doing that. So let's do it for you. So I stand there, I just got my sand iron here. I place the feet close together, and I've got the ball pretty much towards the right hand side. And all I'm going to do here, my right hand is marrying up, or palm of my hand matches the club face. And what I'm going to do from here is just literally just swing my right arm freely back and forth, and almost like a throwing motion, but just swing my right arm just freely. And I just chip some balls down the fairway just doing this. So just stand there like so, back and just through, and I just practice chipping balls doing this to start with. This just really trains how my right hand works. My right hand works in a throwing motion in the swing. So just back and just through. Okay, so I do that all the time. What I'll do then, once I've done that and started getting confident with that, and I'm happy with how that's working, I would then add in, as I swing back down to hit the ball, I would then push the left hip out the way. So I feel like the left hip pushes back. So I'm using my left leg to push the hip back. So from this angle here, as the club's swinging down, I'm pushing that hip back. It's just a right little movement, just a right little pivot movement. So I swing back and push through. So I'm just pushing that round here. So it just really helps with strike. But what this does is this leads to timing, and I had a wonderful lesson this week. Sorry, I'm in camera again. I had a wonderful lesson this week where there was a gentleman that I was teaching. He was really struggling with getting his left hip going out the way. He was sliding into it. His left knee was getting forward. He was sliding into it, and he stalled. And then guess what? Club head carries on. And he was whipping it over with his hands. So we gave him a drill of just doing one-handed chips. So we just stood there basically and just told him, right, just stand here and just get that feeling of just pivoting that hip as the club head comes through. We taught him first of all how to pivot the hips, so that was like the left hip pushes backwards rather than slide. But I actually had him put his finger on his hip. I know it sounds silly, but he was copying what I was doing. So putting his finger on my hip, just push through. This helps me to just pivot through a bit. So those of you that are struggling to turn through, so because once you've done that a few times and you've got a feel for it, you can then add in both hands. Okay, again, just chip in if you want to, just back and just chipping through. This gets you to push that hip back out the way, but also still keeps me trained in using my hands correctly. So I don't want my right hand rolling, I want it moving in this sort of manner here. So again, I put it in my hands, and I'm just going to basically just swing back and pivot through. It's a great way to learn. It helps with your chipping and your pitching, but also in the long run it helps you with your long game as well. So it's a skill-based learning that you'll be doing these little skills, and it's going to help you to improve your overall game. All right, so try that out as well. It's a really good drill. So there you have it. That's 3 of my favorite drills. I mean, I have plenty more obviously, but they're 3 that I like to use quite often, especially the last one with the run-handed drills. It's such a good drill. It works every time. You can even use it with a putter as well. But anyway, I know they will help you in some way, shape or form. So please go and give them a try. And please comment below if you've tried them and you know, what didn't work, what worked, and so on. So I can feed back for you. But anyway, thanks for watching. Please remember to like, subscribe and to share this with your friends. And I'll catch you next week.